Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Expert Desk, where I'm joined by hi-rez Adonis. That game. So when did Complexity turn it around on the Rambozos? Because the Rambozos had it the entire time.
I really wasn't surprised about how that game turned out, because you really look at Complexity's lineup. They had the Geb Freya dual lane, they had the Nemesis jungle, they had the Nuwa in mid, and then they had the Aphrodite soul lane. Like that composition spells you let us get to 30 minutes, you're going to lose the game. So really, when Rambozos had their early lead, they didn't pressure it as much as they should have. They had the Odin, they got a couple picks, and the only time they really won fights was that pick. I mean, you look at that Fire Giant fight where they were really able to take a strong lead. It was off of Incon and Kiki getting picked off pretty hard there, and then one by one, Complexity walked in and died. But when they were grouped as 5 at that Gold Fury, you really just saw Complexity just roll the fight, deicide 5-0.
So let's talk a little bit about Kiki's kiss.
Oh, Kiki.
Give me a rundown of what happened through that.
Kiki's just amazing. Like that's all I could say. His kisses were incredible. His laning phase was a little bit weak. He was pretty far pushed back, but it's Aphrodite. You're very safe. He did an incredible job. Like I said earlier, he's that supportive style solo laner. You saw him run the Afro, the kisses through the walls. He doesn't really come out with a lot of kills, but he has the second most assists on his team throughout the SPL. He just played the Aphrodite incredible. He sat where he needed to in fights, allowed his team to just run rampant.
So what are the Rambozos going to have to do differently now in Game 2 to take it off of Complexity so they don't get kicked out of the game?
You know, I actually really liked what they were going for. They had the Odin to try and get an early lead and have a lot of lane pressure with that Odin Apollo combo. I think they should continue to do that, but they really need to force it more. Last game, they just didn't take advantage that they really wanted to. There was Gold Fury sitting up that they could have forced early fights, and came in with the Thor dunk and won some early fights, but they didn't take advantage of their team comp like they should have.
Well, I'm really excited for Game 2, which is up next. Everyone, let's join Drybear and DM Brandon for the next game.
Thanks, Kelly. And now we're back into game number 2, and what a difficult loss for Rambozos in that last match. So they really have to pick it up here.
That was some Cloud9 stuff right there, man. You're fine and everything's great and you have the lead and you're doing wonderfully.
Raw heal and tons of damage.
And then someone just comes up behind you and kills your whole team.
Well, you look into it, it's always like, this is what I always talk to my viewers about. Always fight for something. Have a purpose for your fights. And not, you're fighting for tier 1 tower, it's 500 gold. It's not really going to be worth it in the end goals. You have to work on focusing on what you want out of the fight, or just don't fight.
Right there with the Gold Fury at the end, I mean, it was a good bait. They had a great bait, and then they just there's no way they'll come up behind us.
Yeah, well, they did. You see Allied's face there right on the screen. Incon always chatting about what he wants to pick and where we're going to go. The question is, what will they ban? So right off the bat, we're going to see a Vulcan ban from Complexity.
Real quick, did you just call out Allied and then say, but Incon though?
But Incon though.
So Vulcan and Serket got banned. I can't believe it. No,
that's so surprising.
Well, given the fact that in the European launch we didn't ban her at all, it's apparently very surprising. She's fine.
Well, it's against Complexity, right? And last time they banned Serket and Arachne, so it's all weekend, all day. And so we're gonna see Odin banned out. I would just let him through.
Yeah, what? Ban
Aduro
out. Aduro was the king. Meerkat was the king. You're gonna ban Odin.
I would ban Ra. Just get rid of that Raw.
They could first pick
another one. They could.
Or they're going to give up Nuwa.
The question is Kiki going to play it?
Jerby would play it.
Well, he's got Nuwa, right? Nuwa's available. I imagine a first pick Nuwa from Complexity, just because they want to lock it in. And we saw so many times, right, where they lost a kill in the fight, and then Jerby's like, hold on, guys, I got it.
So Arachne was in fact banned. Excuse the bottom side not showing it. Complexity's first pick will be coming up next. More than likely here, this is going to be Nuwa. I can't imagine that we're not going to see it.
Right, so there's the Arachne ban now. Nuwa hovering on for Complexity. That's going to be locked in. So Arachne gone away. So this is all Weekend, right? When it actually did seem to work. Weekend's Nemesis was nowhere near his Arachne or Serket. So this seems to be working for them. Then a lock Apollo in yet again for Paradox. Nemesis locked in. Interesting.
So now this actually gives them the Nem Zhang pick if they go for it, or they can force a Zhang Kui ban themselves. Complexity option here. Hovers and locks onto Kali. I'm excited.
Not messing around. You take away his bug, you take away his other bug. I'll just find the 6-armed lady and just kind of go into the fight here. But Aphrodite be locked in as well for Kiki. It worked very well from last game. Over the wall there with that kiss. Man.
Now he gets to kiss Kali. So he can make the invincible character more invincible, have a slow attached to her kit, and heal her repeatedly.
Well, we're going to see an Odin band away here.
Oh, and increase our movement speed.
Unfortunately enough,
and our damage.
After the Odin ban, they have to go Bacchus, I guess. That's sad.
I don't really see the correlation.
Bacchus is amazing, and they're forcing Odin ban out. They're going to go for Bacchus. It looks like they're going to run. Well, Geb's banned here. Giannis is banned. And they're going to go straight into Isis.
Okay.
I can see the Freya.
Yeah, I know Freya 100%. That's allied. I mean, that's all he does. I mean, this is his pick.
Right. Isis picked up here. Now, they do have the Silence, of course. It's going to help a lot with some of the characters like Aphrodite and Kali. Silence can't pop the ultimate, can't get the heal, can't get the ultimate from Aphrodite either. That's great. Also lowers the protection of magic, which is going to help with Bacchus. And depends on what they pick there for the solo lane. It could change up their build. But, you know, the one of the things that's weird about Isis, it's hard to know when to use her ultimate.
Sylvanas gets locked in after pretty much every other option had been exerted. We're not seeing Athena, which is strange for how much Athena we saw in Europe, how much we saw during the SPL. They lock into the tree.
Well, they got one last pick here for Rambozos. Then a strong solo laner. It's going to be a physical solo laner here. They're going to go for the big baby, locking that in. That's late game potential.
I really like Complexity's draft here. I mean, it seems like they got some dream picks. Plain and simple, you know, we know that he's been playing a lot of Sylvanas, talking about Incon. This is Allied's best character. This is Jerby's best character. This is Kiki's probably best character. And then Weekend doesn't have a best character. He plays everything.
Right. Well, you look at, too, I mean, Sylvanas is going to stop a lot of what Vamana wants to do. Same thing for Apollo. He's going to root him to the ground, and then root him when he attacks him, and then heal everyone up and slow the damage down. And, of course, has the ultimate knock him up in the air. The thing that I see about Rambozos right now is they are very susceptible to major teamfight AoE CC, right? If we see Sylvanas go in, or if we see Kiki get a good stun and slow, or Jerby gets a big AoE stun, there's no reaction there. They're all about the follow-up.
Now remember, guys, this is semifinals, or I'm sorry, quarterfinals. Winner goes to semis. This is the tournament life right now for the Clowns, whereas Complexity, if they move on here, they still have one more round to go.
Right, well, we're actually calling the semis world qualifiers, because that's what they are.
They're the world qualifiers.
If you go to the semifinal round, you're going to Worlds. That's the big thing. So Rambozos, they're on the chopping block here. They lost the first round. It's a best of 3. So if they lose it here to Complexity, Complexity moves on.
That's right. Now, Complexity has been kind of favored going into this, but with the way that the Rambozos played in the last game, I'm not counting them out anymore.
Well, that was very close, right? They got the Fire Giant. They had the control. It just seemed like a small slip-up. When you bet everything on small slip-ups, it's anyone's game. And when you think about it, too, they had to go through this match and go through a third one. So they definitely they're focusing up. You can look at the players right now. Every single one of them has their game face on. They're staring at that monitor. They're gripping that mouse tightly. And they're ready to go here. Look across the way. Complexity seems very calm. So it's all on Rambozos.
Well, we did see at least one team come out of the quarterfinals, right? I mean, from Europe with a game down. Talking about Aquila, they were a game down. They were at the Titan, and they lose it. They're going into this, so even if the Rambozos wind up down in the beginning, don't count them out, guys. Complexity trying to move on. Rambozos trying to stay alive.
In the game, guys, you can see Complexity on the left side. If you're a fan, give it up in the crowd. You see Rambozos as well on the top side. Rambozos is now on their path to climb up to the World's qualifiers, and Complexity is standing in their way. Looking to starting builds here. You're not going to see anything too out of the ordinary. In fact, nothing out of the ordinary just yet, but a lot of wards in the same exact places from last game. It seems like they're just repeating.
Which is probably not a bad thing. I mean, there weren't really...
Stability.
You know, there was no craziness going on early game last time.
Except for the double kill.
Well, I mean, that was a little bit later. It was like 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
I want to see what Incon's planning to do this time at the small camp comparatively to what he did last time with Geb.
Well, Aduro's kind of hanging out here. And one thing, too, is that Aduro played so fantastically with Agni last game, you can't discount Isis. Isis, again, and one of the things that, people always discount Isis in the way that's like, oh, she's not that great. But she's actually, mid-tier, low end of top tier. She has some of the highest damage for mages in the game, especially long-range spirit balls. They can chunk your HP really hard.
Oh, yeah.
Wing Gust hits like a truck. And again, like I was mentioning earlier, the hardest part about Isis is knowing when to
he took it! Weekend's dead. There's no way he's getting out of this one. I'm a loss for... Is he getting away? Are you actually kidding me?
Belly flop, nothing's off cooldown.
What? How did he just do that?
It was smart play. It was careful play. And it also was...
No, it wasn't. He jumped into 3 people.
There was bad animation canceling coming out from Paradox. They didn't follow him properly to get the shots in, but they also had no cooldowns.
Right side camps, for whatever reason, did not get taken, and then will be picked up. Nice spirit ball, but it looks like the Rambozos answered that back anyway.
Weekend's now hanging out in the mid lane, loses a little bit of gold experience on the right side, but now leaving Kiki by himself. But, we're not going to see Grisha go over there either. Stealing the blue buff is Incon and Allied.
They got it. Oh, wow. They picked it up and put it on Sylvanas. But check it out. This is a 3v2. Creeps are throwing some arrows as well. The root not going to help there. Nice use of the moves. Incon's going to walk away. They just keep walking. What is this? Isis! Why is she here? Allied's going down. First blood to the Clowns.
There goes Incon backing away. He might be second play as well. He's by himself. Nowhere to go. Here comes
Don't
the help.
jump in, Weekend.
There's the stun. There's the lash.
No.
Weekend gets the kill there. It's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange. But again, Aduro, the fastest rotator at NA.
I feel like this is exactly what happens in all of my ranked games. It's just everyone rotating around the map, not doing meta, and just being crazy. And right there, I have no idea how there was a 4-man grouping there from the Clowns, but they wind up slightly ahead, about 300 gold if you look at the graph, which is kind of crazy, but they're behind in experience now.
It's so hard. And honestly, I love the fact they're like, oh, hey, they're doing blue buff, and Duro's like, hey, I should go over there now. Nothing's happening, but I'm going to go there now. And it's always the big thing is you have to predict what's going to happen in the future, and Enduro's great at that. That Spirit Ball was right on point, Ally getting caught. I like the fact that Ally was more reserved in that. I mean, he turned around, shot one pulse for the slow, and turned right back out and ran, but it wasn't enough.
You know, I think a lot of people don't realize that Aduro was at once the mid-substitute for Dignitas. In fact, going into Season 1 after the launch tournament, I predicted that they were going to actually remove Best and pick up Aduro permanently, which they couldn't do because of the roster lock. And then they didn't wind up doing it. When they needed someone, they didn't pick up Aduro, they picked up Gnaw, which was very, very curious to me. So now Aduro's really trying to make his mark in this tournament, but he has a very hard round 1 with Complexity.
Well, he's doing it 0-1 and 2. He's holding on to the lead. We see already Paradox is sitting at 2-0 and 0. That's going to lock him in for the lane, especially up against Allied on Freya, who tends to have an early weak 1 to 6 levels. And you know, it's going to allow him to control the lane in its space as well as he possibly can. And also can open the map here for Chris Pocket. He can now rotate to mid. He can now poke even the solo lane because Paradox is so far ahead.
Where is Chris Pocket right now? I mean, he's sitting in the back. He's only level 3, just finally getting into level 4. I think that blue steel hurt him a lot more than I think people are expecting it to.
There's the clear from Incon, stacking it up here for Allied, actually helping him a lot more than he may want. We're going to see movement speed buff for Weekend still ticking right now as they're able to control the mid camp. Left one has respawned. Chris Pocket is already there. There's the hog. Right side about to spawn up here, but Grishek goes over there instead of soloing the right side.
Where is Weekend? Why is he not rotating? These are about to respawn.
He's in the mid lane.
Yeah, he's hanging out in the mid lane. You see Jerby there as well. Only a few more seconds till the mid camps respawn on right side, and the grouping isn't big enough. Weekend's going back to the base. Incon's rotated over, but it's blinking. They have no line to it. Double mid camp for the Clowns.
That's really rough. There's nothing they can do. It's 180 gold going straight to Rambozos here. 2-1 in the beginning. Look at the numbers. It's not super huge. I mean, you see 743 experience still in favor of Complexity, so we're getting the experience lead, but the gold definitely favors Rambozos.
Even so, I mean, at this stage in the game, Sylvanas should be a little bit stronger. I think, you know, with having that experience difference, he should be shoving that wave super hard. Even with Freya, you know, notably a weak push, there's no way for Apollo to push against Sylvanas heal. You just can't do it.
We also can see Incon placing down 4 wards this game so far. You can see 2 coming out from 3 of the members of Rambozos. They're splitting the load, but Incon's like, you know what, I got this. I got the vision. No worries.
Well, Sylvanas is a character that doesn't need a lot of gold. He doesn't scale very well. You know, once you get that sovereignty online, the rest is fluff.
Yep. Well, you can see him. He also has a good heal, keeps him alive, keeps things flowing. Allied's going to be clearing this wave out with the help of Incon. And no major aggression coming out from Rambozos right now. They're playing it back, looking for the respawns of the jungle camp. See movement speed about to respawn. Blue buff in the solo lane for Rambozos just got picked up here.
Did he do this? Does he have Doom Orb?
He's got Doom Orb.
Why does he have Doom Orb? Did he do this last game?
No.
What? Wow, that is not
he's got some damage
something that we usually see. I mean, granted, it gives you a lot of damage. It's very cheap. And Aphrodite is pretty hard to kill, but, I mean, while her scaling is pretty decent, usually defense winds up being the build. I'm curious to see what the plan is here, and we're going to see it come to fruition as he's in some trouble.
Backing away, there's a slow, nice knockback. Meerkat taking a lot of damage here from that Doom Orb as Grishek is forced to disengage. And I think the big thing for them is that, you know, look at characters like Ra, right? They can heal all 5 members at once, whereas Aphrodite has to focus on one person. So if she focuses on the right person at the right time, that extra little bit of damage can make such a big difference.
Weekend just took a big shot. Just Aduro saying, hey, just so you know, I know you're there, but Weekend is level 9 right now, 3 levels ahead of Grishek. What has happened there?
The beauty of Kali, though, is she never gets worse.
Right, no.
She just keeps scaling forever.
She's just hot garbage, and then only a little garbage, and then suddenly she's like decent, and then she's like pretty good, and then you have to watch out, and then 26 minutes hits, and you're a time bomb.
You're hiding in a cave. You're just like, I do not want to find her ever.
There's no reason. I mean, and with Aphrodite, attached to her, any 4 players on this team will lose.
After they attach to her, Nuwa hitting ultimates from above, Allied coming from behind as well. They've got a lot of artillery, right, with a strong front line. I think it's going to really work for them when they hit mid-game. And this is something we see a lot from the newer teams. They don't have that mid to late game mentality where they build a strong team comp.
So I'm looking to the left side, Drybear. Mid-camps are spawning, and once again, it doesn't look like the guys on Complexity are going for it. No, Weekend's there. They're being a little safe. It looks like the hand will go down. They'll take that one. Oh, Chris Bucket. You all right? You good?
He's hanging out.
You all right?
25 stacks on that Doom Orb, DM. He's getting that up and up. Looking for the right side.
They need to camp her, man. I mean, you should not allow her to get these stacks up. We should see Grishank just hanging out over here.
Well, it's always the case when you have a melee warrior up against a mage like Aphrodite. You're like, Aphrodite will just sit there and let it fight, but the mid-camp's going to start up here as they go over. Nice ultimate from Incon. Slowly engage it. There's ISO that's stacking up a lot. Big burst. Weekend dropping down. Has to disengage here. Kiki rotating very slowly without boots.
Who got the camp? Looks like it went to Rambozos. Yes, Rambozos did manage to pick that one up. It's going to be split a lot, but actually Grishank gets a free 90 because of Bumba's mask. Everyone else gets a little bit as well.
Big Babe, he's ulting the back camp.
Pardon? Why would he do that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just asserting dominance?
Hey, Harpies, just so you know, I can do this.
Heard you've been talking. Talking-ish.
He's rotating over to the right lane now, whereas Kiki is backing at the left red. I don't really understand what he was looking for. Maybe a pick. He didn't get it. He didn't get what he was looking for. Still level 9. Meerkat right now proxing to 10.
Well, left red has been stolen away by Complexity. Now the back right red will be stolen by no one, actually, as we see that he's going to head on home. Grishank went over there, but didn't actually do anything with it just yet. We're going to see the red camp actually being slowed up by Jerby. And at this point, Complexity has control of the match, but only just, right? Experience is running the dot. Rambozos is a slight gold lead, but it seems like the map control is going to Complexity.
So gold in hand right now. I'm checking out Kali sitting at about 900, which means she's still about 2K away from really coming online. She's not a viable, aggressor until those chin size are finished, unless they find some ridiculously rare invade. But she has the boots finished, so she'll have some damage, most notably against her target. But for now, not a huge threat.
You know what's scary as well is you can see that Paradox is at the highest gold per minute right now, and he is just a sleeper for Rambozos. He is not concerned about the goings-ons in their mid lane or around the Gold Fury. He's just waiting for his opportunity to slam down from the sky and start killing people.
Yeah, he's just barely above Weekend too, and Aphrodite, 2 characters you don't want to see with a lot of gold, but
Grishank.
Apollo's doing a good job, but I feel,
Ultimate, Kiki
this
in
is
trouble, forcing him back. There's the knockup, there's the damage, Ultimate comes out, nice back away, there goes Weekend.
Oh, and deters, Weekend actually forcing Meerkat away. Do they have a jump here? The stun's down. I think this is going to be a wash.
That's it. There's the lash.
There's the ultimate.
Okay, new ultimate coming out as well. What may have been what was on his mind at that point. I want to get low enough where he get it finished off by Nuwa there. But a good reaction there from Kiki, and that's the power of the Doom Orb. He's got enough damage to force them away as well as heal himself.
Kiki and Weekend both have enough damage and enough sustainability right now to withstand not only the buff, but any invade that they want to go for.
They're going to see it. Here's the invade you're talking about. Grishank dropping low, pops the shield, gets it. Big damage, Weekend gets the kill on that one.
Not sure why they reset the blue buff. Maybe going to immediately turn onto a Duro whose kit is basically down. There's the ult, not in time. Doesn't matter. Weekend with another kill.
And getting better and better. Heart Garbage is now turning into regular garbage as he's picking up that speed. And Weekend now stealing a movement speed buff. This is huge against Grishank. And look at this is the problem we see, right? Grishank is level 8.
And as Nemesis. I mean, that's
Nemesis.
not a character that can do a lot of damage. Left side, take a look at the Gold Fury starting up. Chris Pockets Bacchus, though. I mean, it's one of the best steals in the entire game. Incon has to be on point. He's forced to reset it. Took too much damage, but there's a 5-man grouping.
It's
a free 1,500 gold.
It's a comfortable reset. They're just hanging out. They know they got it guaranteed. They want to make sure that Bacchus can't steal it or Incon doesn't die. Rotations come out from Paradox. Paradox is not ulting here, doesn't have it. There's the Gold Fury. Complexity locking that one down. Look at the gold numbers. It's super blue right now. This is true blue on the graphs. You're going to see 3,000 experience and 1,800 gold just do that last objective, and Rambozos is reeling.
Speaking of 1,800 gold, that's basically what we're going to see Weekend need to finish up chin size, and I'll tell you, he's close. Once this is finished, he's sitting at 1,600, 250 away from becoming a nightmare. Oh, and that's a nightmare that's already 3-0.
We don't talk enough about Weekend. We talk a lot about Weekend, but we still could talk more about Weekend.
Always talk about Weekend.
At the experience per minute and gold per minute. He's on top of both. 453 gold per minute, 715 experience per minute, and this is coming off of being dropped to 10% HP in the beginning of the match, forced home, missing mid camps consistently, and also getting ganked often.
Did Weekend just back without enough gold? to finish that. Why would he do that? He still needs a, oh no, actually he can pretty much finish it in about 100 gold now.
No consumables. Yeah, he's looking to get possibly a buff here. A lot of vision coming out. They actually did sentry ward the left side. They're going to the left side and they're looking for a paradox here. I don't see this happening.
Oh. Yeah, Grishang trying to make something happen. Ooh, you should not be diving against Freya, my friend.
Spirit ball.
Oh, Allied in trouble. Allied goes down.
Grishang backing away. New ulti coming through. They can't find the kill.
That's a target.
The kill. Needs to find it. Jumping in the tower. Possibly. Does he have destruction?
Oh,
no ultimate.
No, he just used it. That's got to be frustrating, seeing someone at that much health plus another target under 25%.
Did you see the focus of Maduro there?
Oh, yeah.
He could have stunned Weekend. He waits. The ball goes through Weekend, hits Allied in the face, kills him with the ultimate.
And that's beautiful.
That's discipline.
Oh, so right side actually pushing away. Meerkat once again. Kiki going for serious chases. Tower in major contention here as it's going to be forced away. Complexity with a huge advantage here with 1,000 gold, 2,600. But Weekend has enough to go back and get it done.
Well, it turns out that, look at the lineup here. Weekend has never played Kali in the SPL.
You could have fooled me with how well he's doing.
It's the first time we've seen Weekend play Kali in competitive play or tournament play. And he's coming out, and he's sitting right now at a strong 3-0-1. And you look at the team lineup here, you're seeing a 0-0-3 Doom Orb Aphrodite.
And it's getting scary because take a look at the board. You're seeing Breastplate. Now, given the fact that Shoes of the Magi have been picked up and not Shoes of Focus, he might not immediately opt for Breastplate of Valor to max it out. This could be a Mail of Renewal. Both have extreme merit in this case, but I would imagine we're going to see BOV.
Allied waving to Paradox as he returns back to the lane using that emote from Freya. And, honestly, you can see that these teams are definitely very friendly, but Complexity has their eye on the prize. But, when you put this in context, it's always great to put it in context. You see 2,200 gold, or I'm sorry, 1,300 gold and 2,200 experience. This is not the end of the world. This isn't even tilt. Not even close for Rambozos. They're in this 100%. It's just a slight lead for Complexity. The question is, what do they do now? Because if they go down that ramp and lose their gravity, it's going to be tough.
I think I would like to see Weekend go to Hasten Fatalis this game. I mean, there's going to be a lot of chase down potential given that Apollo has multiple forms of CC and movement. It's going to be very hard to catch Vimana and stick to him when he's in big baby form. Nemesis has double dash. Chris Pocket can jump away with Bacchus. Now, of course, he can just kill out, of course, the Isis, but 1 out of 5 going to be pretty hard. But there's a lot of damage potential as well.
I love the fact there's so many Sentry wards being purchased right now. You can see in the wards place 10 picked up here.
Trouble.
Paradox gets stunned out. I don't think it's going to be enough. The Serenade is it's always got to think about this. Serenade is so powerful.
Right there, Weekend actually threw the lash into Apollo after he had been banished. A huge drop in damage right there, but they're looking for it.
Plus the bleed. I mean, that's a big change. Grishang popping the Retribution Shield. Reflecting some back here. Of course, he's going to heal it up in just a second. You're waiting for the mid tower to be defended, but they're just going to let it go, it seems, just backing up. They know it's not safe, and they're going to take this opportunity to get the movement speed camp there in the jungle. He knows this is his window.
So I'm looking at Grishang here. He gets his speed buff. He's level 12 right now. I'm looking at Weekend. Speed buff about to spawn, level 15. And Kali only has level 1 beats compared to Grishang having level 3, which means 600 more gold that should have been towards damage has been used for other things.
Jin size has been picked up and locked in. Mid camp, we're looking for Kiki. There's the knockback. There's the big damage. Can he get away? The slow's not going to let. Has the ultimate available as well. How many times have they tried to kill him and failed?
That's, I think, number 3.
1,000?
This game. Last game had a lot too. Jerby controlling the mid lane once again. Gonna lose 1 creep to the tower. Everything else gonna give him a pretty significant amount of gold. Procs into 15, tying him up with Weekend. But Weekend still maintains his experience per minute at 680. Gold in hand right now over 1,000. We're about to see the Gold Fury respawn here as the Sentry Ward battle continues, this time now in favor of Complexity.
Look at Rambozos, though. I mean, see, big credit goes to Paradox for not dying so far. He's been holding on to that 2-0 lead they got at the beginning. 2-0-1 now. Has not been caught just yet, and he's waiting to be activated. At the same point, you see most of Rambozos coming down, looking for him, gonna find it.
But they could turn this one around. I mean, Weekend might have an opportunity.
Duro's gone. Duro is gone. Now turn around. There's the destruction coming out, but it will be off of cooldown. Here comes Paradox. This is what I'm talking about. The activation is coming through. There goes the kill. Paradox is still going. From the back is Grishang, though. It's 3 versus 2.
I think this is going to be a cleanup for Complexity, unless Paradox continues with those dodges. Nice bees preemptively to stop it, but it was too much, too late, and right there, we're going to see the Clowns go down again.
Grishang will back away smartly there, then try and 3-man the Gold Fury, and they will be able to get it. They've got lot of damage coming out from between the three of them, plus a heal, which is huge. And again, like I was mentioning, Rambozos have primarily defense. You're going to see, of course, Divine Ruin first there for Aduro. You're going to see at the same point, Chris Bach's going to pick up the Steel Mail. You're going to look for the Emerald Talisman on Meerkat. They're not going for damage just yet, so they still have some time before they activate their momentum.
And once again, Kiki gets out of there scot-free. Doom Orb still at 50 stacks. And yes, Silver Breastplate is online.
Man.
Golden Hand about 200 away from that 25% CDR.
Jervy's going to sit on 28 stacks on his Book of Thoth. Oh, the root on Grishek. There's the Retribution Shield dashing away on that one. There's the hook, but there's the Purification Beads as well.
It's very rare you see the Purification Beads are used against a raw Sylvanas hook.
From behind.
Yeah, seriously. I mean,
he did have a ward, so he kind of saw the icon, knew the positioning at least a little bit, but that's impressive.
Bottom side, Meerkat going for a steal after getting his own blue buff. Looks like he's going to pick up the enemy blue buff as well. Now escaping using Clear the Path for a very small but still notable gain for Rambozos.
Well, Rambozos is only a tower behind. You see the mid tower on the right tower there for Rambozos is down, and only the solo lane tower for Complexity. So it's about 500 gold. As far as the gold Furies go, 2 of them have gone to Complexity so far, out of the 2 so far. So it's for Rambozos, they definitely have some time to sit back and relax. They can't force anything at this point. They're waiting for their opportunities. They need to stack it up slowly, because if they go for the big win, it's not going to work out with around the gold they're behind.
And they're behind by a lot. I mean, 3,800 is no joke, especially at 17 minutes. They're 2 kills down. They're experience deficit. They're losing towers now. I mean, there's a lot going on for Complexity right now, though they did just lose the Vision battle for now, at least at the Fire Giant. There's a lot to do on the Rambozo side, a lot of work to be made up, and a lot of that to me is looking at Paradox. We haven't seen a single ult Dry Bear that has really changed anything.
Well, like I said, he's been a great job so far of staying alive. You see him boxing with Allied and getting the best of it every single time.
Dive in,
He's
go
got
for the
his
kill.
Executioner, no minions there. I'm surprised he's not being a little more bold.
Right there, I mean, he just traded a third of his life bar for no reason.
It was just splash.
Shame.
Spirit Ball coming out from Aduro. Gold Fury is nowhere near respawning, but they're fighting over the mid-camp area. A ton of wards being placed down here. A slow rotation from Meerkat. He'll get there shortly, but again, Rambozos is being very cautious.
What is this random grouping coming over on the left side? They have 5 people over here, just maybe looking for an opportunity to burn down the tier 1. Meerkat's pushing to tier 2, though.
Oh, there goes the backside. Weekend's looking for a chance to jump in here. They see him. Looking for the silence, not going to find it. Left tower will fall. They're grouping up. Meerkats looking for the split push. Is it worth it?
It might be. It depends if they can hold the tier 2. They got a 4v5. Oh, Paradox is dead.
What a hook that was. Incon grabs him. The fall from Grishek's going to find it there. Weekend will fall without popping his ultimate. Paradox is out of the fight. Grishek backing away. Aduro dropping low. Allied is on fire right now. Shooting down from the heavens. Going to find Grishek and force him back to the Phoenix. But can Chris Bucket survive? He will not. Double kill.
Meerkat gets the tier 2 on the right side, continues the pressure. He doesn't have the lane extension right now for a Phoenix kill. I think this might be a base race. Nope. So is Meerkat.
You know, honestly, it was a tower for 2 towers and 3 deaths, right? That was not a good exchange there for
Not even
Rambozos.
close.
They needed that frontline pressure, right? They didn't have any stability. And again, the banish into the hook, that is just pure magic.
It looks like are they going to the goal? They're going to the Fire Giant.
Well,
no, they're going for the speed buff.
Right.
And they got it.
Better. They secured that.
Oh, that was real quick.
No hog.
Which is good. I mean, they definitely need that if they intend to go for the Fire Giant. Incontinentious hog is up. Weekend's hog is up. It's very important.
Allied's going home here. He's going to go and heal up. What will he purchase is the question. He's going to go for a Sentry Ward. He's got his core build, the Demonic Grip, Hasten Fatalis, and Shoes of the Magi. So he's got that attack speed and penetration stacked up pretty well. But he's sitting at, a very minimal amount of gold. Allied struggling with the gold count this time around, especially up against the pressure of Paradox. Now, with only 2 towers remaining on Rambozos, a majority of their gold difference is just objective. So they still have a chance to turn this around. But the experience is what we need to think about. 8,500 means that they do not have the cooldowns, the base damage, the regeneration that they need to keep this alive.
And that's a raw amount of experience lead. You look at Jerby, level 19, highest in the game, which means there's no 20s skewing that graph.
Oh, wow. Aduro just picked up a Book of Thoth at 20 minutes when he's this far behind. Now, it's a hard choice. Once you start down that path of the Book of Thoth and you're thinking about going into Soul Reaver possibly, it's really difficult to make that choice, and he's really vying for a late game here.
For me, I mean, Book of Thoth and Transcendence are very strong. They're obviously much stronger when you stack them up, but I don't think the stacks are a huge thing. They have a lot of base mana, so it's still a big boost.
Right.
Oh, Chris Pocket taking some damage there. Once again, Vision Ward given back to Complexity.
Well, they're going to go for the Fire Giant area, clear it out. We see that Rambozos is still holding on. Looks like we're going to see, I would imagine, actually a Rage here being picked up here from Paradox. He's already sort of the hidden dagger for the critical strike, and just he needs big chunk damage. He needs to actually take down targets quickly so they can set the stage for the team fight.
Left side, Allied stealing away the red buff again. Everyone getting very cheeky. A Duro. Look at that, man. This is why
he should have waved.
He
should have waved just to Allied.
I think the world of this guy. Look at that. That was not only a perfect max range shot, but it was predictive of where Allied was going to bring it.
One thing I like about Duro as well, he's 100% a team player. As you see him kind of holding on the front line, rotation coming out, ultimate on weekend, looking for Grishek, buying time. This could be bad. They're split apart too much. You're looking for Allied left side as well. 2 fights going on simultaneously. Weekend wants Grishek. Weekend wants it. Is he going to get it? New ultimate will secure it, and Chris Pocket dropping low, but Allied's dead.
It looks like 1-for-1. The target changes to Chris Pocket. Going to be a hard swing for Kali here, but the Gold Fury has spawned. Kiki, you're not going to be able to keep Weekend tapped out completely, and even with Allied down, this shouldn't be too difficult.
You know, honestly, it's not a bad strategy, right? Sacrificing teammates for a split team fight where you're going to have a lot of skirmish opportunities, and they got Ally, which the single target damage is now down. You see, there's a Hog coming up for Weekend. Incon still holding on to his. Looks like they're going to go for no Hog this time around. They don't really need it.
Smart.
The Fire Giant's still standing, and they need that Hog.
So overall, you know, Complexity obviously has great control here. They have the picks. I mean, this is their dream comp. I mean, they have, you know, someone Incon's been practicing a lot. Weekend's first time on a character, meaning they don't have homework on it, right? And then 3 absolutely perfect meta picks for Complexity with Aphrodite, Nua, and then, of course, obviously, Allied's Freya.
Allied is definitely making waves right now, and I'd like to look at the player damage done so far. It's going to be Allied and Jerby with the AoE and the single target, and right behind them in 3rd place is going to be a Duro with that Isis, so no surprise there. He's holding his team together. Well,
not right there. They lose the camp once again, and Complexity increases their lead to 5,700 gold and 8,300 experience.
Now you're sitting the towers as well. They've got a very strong 4,000 sitting there, and the towers that are left, right? Plus a Gold Fury opportunity for them. 3 Gold Furies picked off so far from Complexity. It's 4,500 gold they've missed out on. So really just looking for the small pieces to add up. And Rambozos is playing a very long game here. They're making sure that they don't give away too much in each engagement.
Well, those little things that they have given away have started to add up a lot. Now, we go into this Fire Giant phase here, 23 minutes. Both teams are going to start grouping up. What this comes down to is Apollo needs to be split pushing, but the problem is there's no way that he can force anything off of Freya. In fact, if he ults to try to bait the rotation, he could even die in the charge up.
Kiki taking a ball to the face there as he walks into the wall to ward. Aduro still with the prediction. They've got some nice, specifically placed wards. And the reason I like these wards from Rambozos is they're not over-ambitious. They're putting them in places that may not be countered as often, and that allows them to really keep vision on the map and not really try to fight for the ward battle, right? Because if you don't have map control, you can't secure it. But the Fire Giant is actually being started up here from Rambozos. They're trying to steal it. Both players of Complexity on the left side of the map. Incon's on his way. They need to zone him out.
All eyes on Incon. Can they keep him alive? Granted, this has not taken a lot of damage. Paradox is not over here. In fact, it looks like he's finally ulting to come over. Incon's low. He doesn't get it. They got it.
Fire locked in, but it might not be over. Paradox up in the air. Rambozos to disengage. The ball's going to miss. Weekend's not done.
They're trying for it. Meerkat taking a ton of damage. He's going to go down. They're going to try to dive into this tier 2. They might be able to just take this for free as Chris Pocket backs.
Duro still alive. Spear ball going to miss. Turns around. They're still going. The movement speed from Aphrodite's too much. Paradox in trouble here. Gets the double Serenade, trying to buy time, but there goes Grishek, still low level. Retribution Shield buys time. Paradox is disengaging. They're doing the smart move of not chasing him across the map. This is not going to be a chase here from Scooby-Doo. They're going for the right side tower. They're going to take it. The Fire Giant is gone, but Complexity says, so what?
One of the biggest strengths of Nua, backdoor protections. Chris Pocket gets turned on, taking a lot of damage. Oh, stunned out, beautiful shot. And then Allied finishes that one up. Shouts to Jerby on that one as they turn their sights to the Phoenix.
This is very slow and cautious from Complexity. They're not overextending. They're just looking for that slow, momentous move forward. Almost like a group of tanks. They're just standing in, moving forward. Look for the Phoenix. They're going to find it here. And Rambozos are really trying to find a way to push them back.
Well, they're going to lose a Phoenix for that one. Again, smart play from Complexity. Grishek in a lot of trouble. He lost the Retribution Shield. Ticked down by the birds. He's the target. Weekend finds it. He heals himself back up to full and turns his sight once again to Meerkat, who gets blown up.
He's still alive somehow, right into the well to avoid the new ultimate. Paradox gets banished there. Trying to back away. There goes the shots from Allied backing away. They got 4 players still standing on Rambozos, but Complexity has done the damage they needed.
All right, so let's run the game real quick. All right, Dry Bear. You know, you talk about Jerby. What's the big stigma?
The big stigma, misses ultimates.
He misses ultimates, so you put him on Nuwa.
He can't miss ultimates.
He can't miss the ultimate. And you know, one thing that Jerby does very well is positioning. And look at him. He lets his teams like, you guys do that. I'll push the wave. I'll get my minions. We'll take the tier 2. We'll back off. I'll get my minions. We'll take the Phoenix. No problem whatsoever. Even with Fire Giant lost once again, Complexity finds something to take. They get 4 kills in that engagement somehow. They get a tier 2, another tier 2, a Phoenix, and they extend their gold lead once again up to 10,000.
We can see why they first pick Nuwa every game, right? It's kind of like that foothold that allows them to survive. The stealth, the AoE, the stun, the minions for protecting towers, pushing back and backdooring, and they also have the ultimate to split them up. Not only are they actually doing a ton of damage to 5 players at once, they're applying Divine Ruin to every single one of them. So they're actually applying that reduction in healing, means that they're not going to get too much. It's going to slow down the healing coming out from Meerkat on Vamana. You're getting a little bit less from the ultimate coming out from Isis as well, and you're really looking at this saying they have control of the map without even having to touch anyone.
So Weekend has now gone into a Witchblade, despite the fact that there is one already on the team. This means to me that he's trying to just augment his movement speed. He has opted into beads instead of sprint with Hand of the Gods, which I think is definitely the correct choice, and wants to be able to be quick. So he's linked to Aphrodite for 20%. He's got more movement speed coming out from Cursed Blade. He's going in. He doesn't care about this. He's getting healed up. He's baiting back. Destruction is ready. They might get baited here.
It's so hard. He's linked to Aphrodite. No matter what you do, he's still relatively safe. We saw the rotation coming out from Grishank, but Grishank is still sitting at level 16 right now. They need him to be level 20. He fell behind early and has not recovered just yet.
And that's an ult down. You're going to see him dive to the back line. Weaken, throwing damage into Paradox. Paradox trying to escape, but the mid Phoenix has taken too much damage and will go down.
Ooh, Banish coming out. They might be looking for a little bit early on the hook there from Incon.
They're going
now
in.
trying to find out Grishank. Forced away, dashed into a wall and forced to dash away afterwards. At this point, the Titan is looking to defend its life.
How is Kiki 2-0-10 with Doom Orb?
The dunk. There's the Banish coming out. Sylvanas ultimate buying time. There goes ultimate on top of. Oh, wow. The damage on Meerkat takes him down. Paradox falls as well. It's going to be big for Complexity. The damage on top. There goes the triple kill for Jerby. Looking for the Quadra. Can he find it? Chasing it down. Nothing through the wall. Still alive, but the Titan all by himself.
I'm looking in the back. The headsets are coming off, guys. I think that one's going to be it. Give it up for Complexity going to the World Qualifiers.
Grishank dropped down. Complexity will be moving on to the World Qualifiers to face off against Cognitive Prime tomorrow. But what a game they had there. What a set of games they had there. And Rambozos really struggled to come back in that last match. But that's when it's all said and done.
So we look back to the kickoff lands, 4th seed both in Europe and in North America, with SK Gaming and Codgred not only coming out on top, but making their name shown. Going back to this land, we go to Europe, and again, we see more of the same, the 5th and 6th seeds taking the spots. That, however, was not the case in North America, as Complexity and Dignitas has bested their opponents and will move on to the fight tomorrow, where the real tournament will start.
Well, let's go ahead and toss it over to Kret to break down that last match between Complexity and Rambozos. Take it away, Kret.
All right, guys, that was a great game from Complexity. Rambozos didn't do too shabby, but in the end, they weren't able to keep it going. We're going to check out a play from your boy, Kiki or Nah, who absolutely killed on the Aphrodite both games. Let's roll it forward. Very aggressive play this game. Last game was support. This game, Kiki was a killer. He did great damage. Gonna link onto Allied here, and is just keeping it rolling. Chris Pocket seems to be the target for the team. Switches to Weaken, trying to keep him alive. Not able to do it. Paradox on his way out. Link to Jerb with the Banish. That's going to set up the kill. Kiki's got some indecision, but he's looking for Paradox. Will be able to find it with the back off, and now Grishank on the left-hand side will be forced out, and Gold Fury will go to Complexity. Let's take it back from the beginning and break it down. Remember, Kiki has a Doom Orb. He does a lot of damage. Roll it forward, and we're looking to see where he can get the big hits in. First link to Freya. Stop it here. And we just saw the Birds combination onto, I believe, the jungler, the Nemesis, coming out from the Rambozos, and he used the back off as well. Chris Pocket is in trouble. Meerkat very low as well. Roll it forward. Kiki is going to navigate this fight. He sees Weaken's in trouble, tries to get the link and save his ally. Doesn't have the time, but he's going to still be supporting his team. Rolling forward, Jerby is going to be positioning near Paradox. That's going to be a kill. Kiki trying to make up his mind, going to go for Paradox, finds it, and that's the end of the engagement. Now let's see what F.Dot's up to with the interview.
All right, thank you, Cret. Good? Okay. Thank you, Cret. I'm here with Team Rambozos, who just gave us 2 very intense games, especially that first one, guys. You played your hearts out. Thank you so much for being here with us today. You will be dropping out of the tournament. However, we expect to see lots from you guys in Season 2 next year. You won't be leaving home empty. You won't be leaving here empty-handed. Here's your check for $2,500. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us. We're going to shoot over to Kelly now, who's going to take us out.
Hello, everyone. In just a second, I'm going to be joined by Incontinentia, the captain from Complexity. He is running over right now. He was congratulating his teammates for doing so well, winning 2-0 against the Rambozos. Oh, hello there, Incon. How are you doing? Congratulations on your win. You're going to be going up against Cog Prime tomorrow. Who do you feel you guys are going to have to focus tomorrow?
We have a long history with Cog Prime, and Barracuda definitely carries them, kind of like how Zapman does it for Dig, and Barracuda will definitely be our priority.
So you guys were pretty even in game 1 against the Rambozos, but in the second game, you guys had a pretty resounding win. What changed between those 2 games?
I believe it was the momentum from winning the first game. Momentum plays a lot in any game, especially Smite. So after you won the first game, we felt really good going to the second game, played very confidently.
Well, it's going to be an exciting day tomorrow, and these are the trophies that you could potentially win. They look pretty nice, right? And the possibility of going to the World Championships. Congratulations again to the newly formed, but Complexity, the new sponsorship. Everyone, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. We got Dignitas versus Cog Red and Complexity versus Cog Prime. Make sure to join us here tomorrow on twitch.tv/SmiteGame. And to everyone in the stands, are you guys hyped for tomorrow? I know I am. Everyone, I hope you guys are as well watching at home. It's going to be an exciting day. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.